Hey, I'm Stephanie Burch and welcome to That's How It Works Thursdays. Today I want to talk about our internal GPS system. I believe we all have an internal GPS that's connected to God, the universe, our higher self, the help of heaven, our angels, whatever you want to call it, however you want to look at it. We have that ability, but how do you access it? Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes in our most trying moments when we really need to access it, that's when we feel the most alone and the most disconnected. And I want to talk about why and how you can access that, because I've been through some of those moments and I'll share a personal story with you. A little background on it. There was a time in my life that I really needed some guidance. My mom had passed, and I had found out that my husband at the time was cheating on me 6 months before. So my life was in shambles, my marriage was in shambles. My parents had adopted two very badly sexually abused children 10 years earlier at the ages of 3 and 4. So the girls were now 13 and 14. My mom passed, my dad passed 6 weeks later, while me and my then husband were making arrangements to move him and the girls to Nashville to help him finish raising them. And I was left in this place where my life was falling apart. Everything had changed. I took the girls in. Within 2 days, I had them registered for school, rearranged my home, had bought all their school supplies, their clothes. It didn't take very long to figure out that that wasn't working. I was having to go to their school almost every day. The issues they had were so severe that the school was even telling me they couldn't continue to keep them there because it was more than they were equipped to handle. It was way more than I was equipped to handle. And you know, one night I got to a breaking point where I literally took my little pink Nike bag, I put some stuff in it. I don't know if I've ever shared this with anyone. I got in my car and I left. I was just driving. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had to quit my job because my boss was like, I'm sympathetic for your situation, but we have a business to run. And every day I was having to go to that school and spend so much time dealing with the girls' issues, let alone I had not even begun to process the passing of my parents. So I got my pink Nike bag and I got in my car and I was driving and I was just thinking, where could I go off a cliff or drive really, really fast and end this? Where can I go? I have no money, I have no job, I have no marriage to support me. I had nothing. So that was, I thought I'll hit something really hard, but then I'll probably screw that up and be a vegetable, and that's not going to work out well either. So that was like my aha moment of something's got to change. I've got to do something different because this isn't working. So I went home, and there was a birthday party either that weekend or the next day that we had been invited to, and I told my husband at the time to take the girls and to go without me. And I knew if I could just have a day alone without the chaos that was going on in my home, to get some clarity. I had always felt connected to God and the angels. I always knew that guidance was there for me. There was too much chaos for me to hear it and be connected to it without clearing them out of the house. And I only had a few hours to do this in. So I was very clear and I was very desperate. And I said, God, help me. What do I do? And the first instinct and urge that came to me was go work out. And I was very aware that that day was a process. It's not like God's going to ever come down to anyone and say, hey, Stephanie, here's what you need to do right now. Let me just spell it out for you. That's not how it works. But this is how it works. My first instinct was go work out. So I did. I went to the Y, had a membership, I worked out. Towards the end of the workout, it occurred to me to say, what do I do next? So I said, what do I do next? And then I had a strong impulse to go home, take a salt bath. So I did. I went home, got in a salt bath. Towards the end of spending some time in silence, I was like, okay, God, what next? I still hadn't gotten any answers. The urge came up really strong, watch Chocolat. That inner voice said, watch Chocolat. Chocolat was a movie I already loved. It resonated deeply with me. I owned it. I said, okay. So I got out of the bath, I put in Chocolat. It wasn't probably 10-15 minutes into the movie that it was clear. I had my answer. Because Chocolat, the reason I love the movie in the first place, it's, the single mom then goes into this cold, snowy, French, conservative Catholic town. Really, everybody's asleep. And she goes in and she awakens people. and she reignites their passion in all different ways. You know, whatever way you're meant to express passion. One lady was coming in saying, give me some more of that chocolate. My husband hasn't showed this kind of interest in me in years. So she was rekindling marriages. She was waking up the church community to come out of a place of fear, to come into a place of ecstatic love and no fear, and follow your bliss. And life's not meant to be full of judgment and condemnation and fear. And I felt a strong, you know, resonance with her life purpose in mind. Like I am passionate about awakening people, about connecting others to their passion. That's my passion. And it was really clear that I would not be able to do that if I kept these girls even a moment longer, that I was so disconnected from my own life and my own passion. So I put those girls on the next plane out of Dodge, packed their bags up, never looked back. They ended up in a better place. They're doing well. It wasn't my journey to keep them. It was my journey to keep awakening people and sharing my passion. And I understand looking back that how it works is God needed to raise my frequency, because God's vibration is very high. Our angels have a very high vibration. We're never disconnected from that vibration, but when we're low and we're in fear mode and we're in anxiety and stress, our vibration's low. So to make that connection and to get a clear signal, it's hard. So we have to raise our vibration. We have to clear out the negative junk. So that's what God was doing with me. Like, go work out, raise your vibration, get a salt bath, clear out the negativity. Then I could hear clearly. Then I could process the guidance that was coming to me. And I did. And that's how it works. So I hope by sharing that story, you'll know that you have the same guidance and the same ability to get clarity, whether it's a job or a relationship issue, or hopefully you're not facing such severe circumstances as I was. But we all come to those moments where we need some guidance and we need some clarity and we need to be able to trust it. So that's how it works. And hope you enjoyed this episode of That's How It Works Thursdays, and we'll see you next week.